Ever wondered what's beneath the surface? Perhaps you're intrigued as to what goes into running some of these fisheries. Well, brand new for 2024, Catch are bringing you Diary of a Lake Owner. We're going to travel the country looking at fishery management practices, best techniques, and today I'm at Bugley Pools and they're netting. Let's go and see what it's all about. I've been fortunate enough to know Abi and Matt 2 odd years, and I fished here, I think maybe 3 times. But now there's no water in it, I want to have a look at where I've caught fish and just see what exactly was on the bottom. This is one little corner of the lake. Every time I've come, it's done me bites. Always, it is absolutely a banker of a spot. But look at it. There is not much there to go on whatsoever. Now every time I've fished it, I've fished the pop-up presentation, so I'm obviously clear of any detritus on the bottom, but it just goes to show you it's not always hard clay, gravel, clean silt you're looking for. For whatever reason, they like this. I'm no farther than what, 5 foot off the bank, but it's nothing special, but the carp get in here. Why? Is it naturals? Who knows? But check it out. So having fished this swim quite a lot as well, I've always cast over to that far side. And as you can see, it's a real steep incline. So half the time we're thinking get as tight to the bank as possible. But within a rod length probably, it's either a real steep angle there that you probably struggle to either present a bait on, or equally, you're gonna be fishing in very shallow water. But just that side, it's steep. So although you think you're hitting the same mark, you're not. On there, I'm probably fishing in 5 foot of water. There, barely even a foot. Just shows you how something so slight and so different can make a hell of a difference. While these guys are braving it in the cold and breaking the ice as they're about to net, I just wanted to talk to you about the smaller island I fished on the left-hand side of this swim. And as you can see, the majority of that margin, everyone wants to get real tight, but to me it looks horrible. It's bouldery, it's rocky, there's a lot going on there. But if you just track it to the furthest side, just under that tree, it's steep drop, it's real dug in. That is where I've done bites before. It's absolutely polar opposite to the side of this, which just shows you fishing up to the mines on any island is not the same. All the way around it, it changes, so be wary of that. This is where I had the common Aussie. I think it was low 20s when I had it, and it's done a lot bigger than that. But it's this deep section, and that is the section obviously they're pulling now throughout the winter. It's really nice to see. So these boys are just going to do another sweep of the lake, see what else they can pick up, and then we'll have a chat as to why they're doing it and what they're hoping to achieve. It's fair to say, Matt, not only has it been cold, but you've been grafting today, I think.
Yeah, it's been fair to say. We've put a shift in, isn't it? Yeah.
It's interesting to see. I've been coming up here just over 2 years, and I think you've been open to day ticket anglers for 2 years.
Yes, yeah, it is, yeah.
And obviously you're doing a lot on management early on. Talk to me, what have you been doing?
Yeah, basically, so every year through the winter months, basically a big stock assessment, basically. So what we do is we drain the lakes, we'll go through, net them, go through the entire stock, and basically the main principle of the job is to remove small fish, yeah. Silvers, small carp, self-spawners.
Self-spawners.
Yeah,
okay.
So there's been plenty of them over the last couple of years. So yeah, basically the yearly routine is we'll drain them, net them, grade all the small juvenile fish out which are causing a problem for the main stock of fish. And then that gives us a good chance as well to assess over the main stock of carp that are in there. And as you've seen us do here, sort of if there's a few slightly smaller ones, they'll go on down to sort of the smaller lake, and if there's any a bit bigger, they go up to the other lake type thing. So.
In a nutshell then, it's almost the less mouths in there. So when anglers come and feed, when you supplementary feed, the bigger ones are obviously going to grow, which is what you want. And you're not wasting time feeding or the little ones getting in the way.
Exactly that, yeah, exactly that. So yeah, that's pretty much all it is. You know, we've probably taken, in the small carp wise, I mean, this is just out of Kingfisher, we've probably taken around 500-600 out of there now. You think you've got all them smallmouths going around, all them little roach, all them little rudd, and all them smallmouths combined. Yeah, over a course of a year, they will eat a lot of food, and they take up a lot of oxygen as well, which is the other big thing. So you know, it's all about keeping the oxygen sort of as best and as good a quality, the lakes in good a quality as possible. And yeah, again, one of the main things, the reason why we do it as well is to purely get the juveniles out, so that in middle of summer, when it's really hot, 30 degrees, everyone's out fishing, you tend to find that it's always your bigger fish will always go first in an oxygen crash. So by taking out them juvenile fish, you're helping the whole progress throughout the year evolving into the summer.
Why is the coldest day of the year the best time to do it?
Because the oxygen in the water. It's purely it. It's just the fish, obviously they're cold-blooded, so you know, if as soon as the water temperature is cooling down, the fish are cooling down as well. So they just basically go into a dormant state, or a less lively, I'm going to smash the life out of you in the net type of thing. So yeah, reason why we do it in the winter is, one, because the oxygen is 9 times out of 10 really good, and 2, it's less stress on the fish, and they're a lot more slow moving in that sense, where they're a lot slower. So yeah, that's sort of 10 why we're out here on a frozen lake freezing our asses off.
That's what I was just going to say. Obviously, typically, if the lake wasn't frozen, it'd be a bit of a quicker process.
Yeah, it was.
Today we obviously saw, first things is you had a stop net in, and then you got the seine net in. So just talk to me about how that seine net sweep works, if you like.
So basically, as you know, up on Kingfisher, we got a couple of islands, sort of almost like a figure of 8 shape, got 2 islands in the middle. So what we wanted to do, as I'm sure you'll probably see on the drone shots, is that one half of the lake is pretty much clear, there's a couple of inches of water left in it. And we went round and scoured through all of that this morning. There was no fish in there whatsoever, not even small stuff. So what we've done is, as we got up to the shallower end where it sort of goes back into a couple of foot of water, we basically put a stop net in to basically keep the fish from working their way up back up to where we don't want them, basically. So yeah, basically put the stop net in, stops anything from moving up that end where we don't want them into sort of the leaf and stick matter and stuff. And then that gives us a chance to get the main 100-metre net in and get that winged around them and on the inside of them. And as you've seen, we basically started at the top end where we put the stop net in, and basically cut round that bowl, and sort of, because in that middle peg, when we first got there, you had a big ball of fish just sat in the middle. So what we wanted to do is make sure we went right round the back of them to basically make sure they stay sitting there, so that we didn't push them on and send them everywhere. So yeah, once we broke through the edge of the ice and sort of cut the crust off, as if you like to say, and then yeah, you shoot your 100-metre round to where you want it, and then that's when you seen us with the ice and very teasily, you know, push all the floats under, make sure they're under the ice, and then once you're under the ice, it's exactly the same as netting like normal. You can cut your leads round, and
you've got a float line, and then at the bottom you've got a lead line. And then it's just a process of being synchronised to pull a bit, pull a bit.
Basically, So so when you first shoot a net, you'll have that'll be your float line. You'll have your net, and your lead line will be back down here somewhere, depending on how long your meterage is on your net. So basically, what we're doing is, as we're pulling it into us, where the float line is there, we're basically bringing that lead line forward. So what you're doing then is you're creating that bag, which where the fish sits. If you left it there and just pulled the floats all the way to the very end, all the fish would go wee by under the leads and gone. So that's why we always cut, pull, and we'll do short, 20 floats, 15 floats. We'll cut a bit, pull a bit, cut a bit, pull a bit, and that's just basically to ensure that lead line is digging into the silt and cutting underneath, rather than the fish being able to follow the lead line, find a hole and get out. So it just keeps it all efficient, all just neat and tidy, and it's a good way to know where your leads are as well, and where snags are and things like that. Because there was a couple of spots where there was the odd little root that was poking out where the lead line got caught on.
And again, as soon as it's up, then one fish goes, they all go.
Exactly that. So you got to be quite quick on it. You can't hang around for too long, because the fish don't.
Just the two of you though, working together in good synchronisation. you've done 2 sweeps and well, you've more or less said everything you thought you was going to.
Yeah. We've had the entire stock of the lake is obviously split in the main stock of carp has been split up into the pen there. So we'll have a little wade through and a grade through them in a little while. And then, as you say, we've split all the juvenile fish up, all the tench, crusions, rudd, roach and smaller carp. They'll get split up and split down between the stock ponds down there.
I was just going to say then, talk me through the stock of the 3 legs on site, because now it's changed slightly.
Yeah, it has now. This year especially, it's changed quite a lot. So moorhen, the smallest one at the bottom, that's more of like sort of runs water, sort of, I say a bite, a chuck. we all know what it's like. It's not always a bite, a chuck. Exactly. So, but that's going to be the predominantly more runs water sort of fish, from single figures, sort of six inches to a pound, right up to sort of 10 to 12 pound mark.
And silverfish as well?
Silverfish, tench and crusions in there as well, So your rudd, roach, and again, there'll be anything from a couple of inches in size up to sort of 5-6 inches in size. So there'll be quite a varied selection in that lake. And then as we come up to mallard, that's where it sort of changes quite a lot. So there won't be any silverfish at all. Well, say at all. There will be a few still left in there, but 90% of them are now gone. Rudd and roach have completely gone. There's a few crusions and a few tench left in there, just because I like to keep them split up across the 3 and see how they get on in each pool across the years. And again, it gives the anglers, if someone did want to stick out a little float rod, you got a chance of having any odd tench or crusion or something. But the main stock in mallard now will be anywhere from sort of 12, 13 pound up to about the sort of 18 pound mark. There could potentially be a couple of 20s coming back down there later.
But a few surprises.
You never know. You never know. There might be the odd one creep down from Kingfisher that comes back down, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. And then Kingfisher, that's sort of turning into what I would class as the sort of cream of the crop now. Sort of quite a low stock in there. There's going to be around sort of 30 to 35 carp in there. But again, majority of them are going to be over the 15 pound mark. There's not going to be anything going back into Kingfisher under 15 pound. Unless they're really something special that I just can't justify not putting in one of the others.
And again, the named fish we've seen up there look in great condition and have put on a bit of weight, some of them.
They have. Fingers and touch wood and all of that malarkey. They're all heading in the right direction. So they're all coming on leaps and bounds. It's really nice to see. And we're only 2 years in the making. So
it's such a young fishery, but it's nice to see you putting the management in now, as opposed to when you've got a problem having to react, and watching the whole place mature. It's been a pleasure, and it's going to go from strength to strength. So.
Fingers crossed. I'll say as well, like one of the other reasons why we take out a lot of the rudd and the roach is that they'll have quite a high survival rate compared to the carp. They spawn before carp. So if we're riddled with loads of roach and rudd, what they tend to do is they'll eat a lot of the carp eggs when the carp come to spawn.
They're out competing them, if you like.
So it was quite interesting, because on moorhen there was predominantly 90% just carp fry in there, anything from sort of 1 inch to 3 inches. Come to mallard, totally different, hardly any carp, but pretty much all roach and rudd. And then we've come up to Kingfisher, and it's been a bit of a 50-50 mix in there. It's been less roach, more rudd, but more carp. So it's weird how it varies. But what I have found is the more juveniles that we take out, the carp fried side of it, they tend to do a lot better as the years go on. So again, each year as we keep going, it'll hopefully eventually be whittling down the silver side of things and keep the carp fry coming on and coming through, and keep growing them gems.
And this is the thing, that what you're doing with these, as well as you're going to keep some yourself and grow them on, obviously, in your stock ponds, but then some of them will go to fisheries around the area and up country as well.
That's it.
It's sort of moving bloodlines and stock around. And
that's it.
It's nice to see. Isn't it?
It is. And the few different strains that we had originally stocked in here, they had 3 different strains, but they're all they're all producing some lovely scaly little
incredible.
beauties. Yeah,
Incredible.
yeah, you're sort of looking through the bucket. Oh, I want that one. Oh, I want that. Oh, look at that one. So yeah, well, yeah, you could literally stand there all day thinking, fill up bucketfuls, but they can come back to the pond. Yeah, yeah.
If my missus had let me build another pond.
Yeah, right.
as
yeah,
well,
only yeah.
Not quite this time, but we'll get you warmed up and we'll have a look at some of these bigger ones.
Yeah, wicked. Yeah, we'll go and get some gloves on and have a look. Nice one.
So I'm going to leave those guys to do what they do best. Hopefully you found this insightful, entertaining and a bit educational. And like I said, this is a brand new series for 2024, so stay tuned. And if you do like it, click the like, subscribe and flick the bell to stay notified. And I'll see you on the next one.